Hello.
Hello. I'm Phyllis, Princess Pampered Phyllis, and I'm an alcoholic.
Today is going to be better than a special day. I'm here at my mother's house for a good purpose.
Yes, for sure. I want you to meet my friends. I talk about them all the time. I tell you about them, and it's time that you met them.
And what is the purpose?
The purpose is to show and prove that as we age, how important it is to have friends.
I will buy that one. And I have a lot to add to that one. And this is going to make big changes for the lives out there throughout the world, because don't turn that video off until you see it till the end. Hello.
Hello. I'm Phyllis, Princess Pampered Phyllis, and I'm an alcoholic.
You're an alcoholic? You mean a shopaholic?
A shopaholic.
Okay, that's beautiful. You're gonna wait right over here. Hello.
I'm beautiful, bubbly, boastful Barbara. And I've been a travel agent for over 40 years. Wow. Cha-cha-cha.
Whoa, bubbly Barbara, we need you right here. Hi.
I'm marvelous, magical, modest, Muriel. And I'm an artist. Cha-cha-cha.
Magical Muriel, we need you here with us right here as well.
Hi.
Hi.
I am sassy, smartass, surprising Sandy with an I. And I'm a writer. I'm also your mama. Cha-cha-cha.
Silly Sandy, we need you here as well.
Of course.
No one will ever tear us apart. We are special right from the start. We are wise, positive, happy, and oh so smart. That is why we are sisters by heart. Cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha.
It was so nice meeting all of you. Let's have fun and make it a good day.
Yay! My friends here would like to ask you some questions. Would that be all right with you?
Absolutely. This is the best time, because I'm sure that these questions will pertain to the many people listening right now. Yes?
Absolutely. I'd like to start with Marvelous Muriel.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
As I've gotten older,
Okay.
I noticed that my hair, I've always had very fine hair. I noticed that it's thinning a lot.
Thinning.
And there's areas in the back that expose the scalp. What can I do about that?
Well, this is a very, very good question, and I'm going to hopefully be able to answer that in a very good answer. But remember, as we get older, here's the situation. As we get older, we usually get less sun. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
So when we get less sun, we get less vitamin D. And vitamin D is directly linked to hair loss, not only as we get older, but even younger and middle-aged people. Someone very close to me and my family, we did a video in the past, was thinning of the hair, been to dermatologists, never knew about vitamin D deficiency. Started taking vitamin D, and all of a sudden, within a couple months, like a new person. Wow. So the question here is, when you take vitamin D, yes, you can get it from your fatty fishes, your fortified foods. So when people supplement their vitamin D, this usually comes in IUs, different units. Usually 1,000 IUs, 2,000 IUs, 5,000 IUs. And generally they recommend anywhere from 600 to 800 IUs. But remember, the problem with vitamin D is making sure we're getting it assimilated. So the best way to take your vitamin D is with food, because vitamin D is fat soluble. So the message here, that's a great question, is that if you're taking vitamin D with water and you're not taking it with food, your body's not assimilating it. So yes, in my opinion, I would recommend at least 1,000, 2,000 IUs every day. Some people need a little bit more, but talk to your doctor, have them check your vitamin D levels, see where it's at, and that would be my best recommendation for you. Princess Phyllis is up next. She has a question for me. Tell me, Princess.
I have problem with sleeping.
Sleeping?
Yes.
Okay. Great question. Millions and millions of people have problems with sleeping. Millions. It's just more than you could ever imagine. So first thing about sleep is that when you don't get enough sleep, it throws off hormones like ghrelin, which is our hunger hormone, and our ghrelin levels can rise, and ghrelin is going to give you the urge to eat a lot. So when we don't get enough sleep, we crave more sweets. And when we crave more sweets, what eventually happens is that excessive sugar is eventually going to get turned into fats. Now we gain more weight, and it can lead to insulin resistance as well as prediabetes. Now, but the key thing is, what do we do? How can we get to sleep? Now, people talk about melatonin. Melatonin is secreted from the pineal gland of the brain when we go to sleep in a dark environment. The first thing I would recommend to anyone is make sure your room is dark. If the room is not dark, the body cannot secrete enough melatonin naturally. As we get older, we secrete less melatonin. Now, a few things you can do. One, I love chamomile tea. We grew up on chamomile tea. Chamomile tea relaxes our nerves. And there's another great herb called valerian root. Valerian root is valerian from the root. When we take that, it relaxes our nervous system. A few things we can do, by the way. You never want to eat within 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed.
I was just going to say that.
Okay, that will keep you up. That will throw your digestion off. Bubbly Barbara, you have a good question for me, I hear.
I do. We were thinking and about the different things that we eat, and we know that too much sugar is not good for you. How about salt?
We call it the whites, the old whites. Let's talk about sugar briefly, okay? Simple sugars are sodas, we drink them. Too much sugar, eventually, that doesn't get stored, eventually goes to fat. So most people who have bellies, visceral fat, too much sugar. Sugar is inflammatory. So when people have skin issues, digestive issues, because remember, we have good bacteria in our gut, and that gut needs to have what we call good prebiotics that feed on them. If the gut is getting too much sugar, it starts feeding on the bad poisons, and then it eventually can throw your microflora, your flora, your microbiome, and that can eventually lead to inflammatory problems, joint problems, headache problems, sleep problems, digestive problems. It can cause all kinds of problems. So if you're going to eat sugar, you want to eat natural whole sugars in the fruit and vegetables, your whole grains. The key thing is eating sugar with fiber. All the processed foods that we see in the aisles today, all the processed foods, your cereals, all the foods that are in boxes are all processed. The fiber's taken out, which is obviously causing problems in our gut and our body. The salt, if you're eating too much salt, most people say, I don't add salt, but you're eating lots of salt. It's hidden in all frozen foods. It's hidden in all packaged foods. We don't realize how much salt we're getting, and we realize we're all bloated. We're distended. We think we're PMSing every day, okay? But we're not. But what happens is when people are eating too much salt, they get bloated. It affects your kidneys. It can affect your blood pressure. And the best thing to do to get rid of excess salt, two things. One, a lot of water. The more water you drink, the more salt gets excreted from the kidneys. People think that, I don't want to put more water in there because I'm going to get more bloated. No, it will help filter the salt out. The second thing is add more potassium. Potassium foods, your avocados, your apricots, your bananas, all those potassium foods work with sodium. So when sodium's high, potassium's low. So in order to get sodium low, we need to increase potassium. It's a chemistry type of thing that works every single time. Add more potassium foods, your body will excrete more sodium, and you're going to feel a whole lot better. Great question.
Thank you, Doc.
And lastly, my mother, Sassy Sandy.
Okay, Doc, you know I love candy, but I don't eat it hardly anymore because it's all your fault. You don't want me to eat it, so when you come, I hide it. And so, but what about chocolate?
What about chocolate?
Is it bad? I mean, once in a while to have a delicious piece of chocolate?
Right.
I mean, it makes you feel good.
Yes, it does. It secretes endorphins, it secretes dopamine, and makes your brain crave like, oh, I feel loose and heavy, and oh, I feel good, right?
Yeah,
we get that feeling, that's serotonin. So
Sure.
that's a great question. Believe it or not, chocolate has antioxidants, polyphenols. Those antioxidants are good for our heart, they're good for our brain, they're good for our cells. But here is the ticket. there's two types of chocolate. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, well, there's white chocolate, all other kinds of chocolate. But the more cacao in the chocolate, the higher degree of cacao, the less sugar in the chocolate bars. So if you're gonna get milk chocolate, you need to look at the ingredients. Milk chocolate usually have a lot more sugar. If you get dark chocolate, the darker the chocolate, the higher the cacao level, the less the sugar, the healthier it is for you. So the answer, chocolate is good for you. Have a little bit, dark chocolate, high cacao, have it a few times a week. It will help your heart, it will help your blood vessels, and you'll stay healthy, yes.
Yes, okay, well, what about people who eat sugar-free chocolate? Is that as healthy?
Stevia. Stevia is considered sugar-free from the plant. Naturally, it won't affect your insulin, your glucose. That is the second way to go. But dark chocolate is still healthier.
Okay, let's wrap it up, girls, because we would like to thank you for your educated answers that you gave us for our questions and for coming together, meeting my friends. And we have a special song we'd like to sing for you, because this is what we sing every time we go out to dinner and we walk outside and it's raining. Are we ready, girls?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Although the showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom each day. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know, it's raining violets.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
God bless everyone.
We love you.
We love you too. And make it a great day, because we love you as well.
And your body will love you.